helping us remember the oceans as well. Senator Padilla, I believe, might be next, and Senator Padilla, I think, is joining us on WebEx. Alex, you there?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to raise a couple of issues and questions with Mr. Sullivan, fellow Californian. You highlighted, Mr. Sullivan, in your testimony the proposal to create the Western Riverside County National Wildlife Refuge in Southern California, a few miles east of Los Angeles. California, as you know, is one of the most biodiverse places in the world with thousands and thousands of species. And as you noted, the proposed refuge would directly protect 147 species, 33 of which are threatened or endangered. This area of Southern California is also in need of sustainable development. It's a densely populated area with inequitable access to nature and open spaces, particularly for working class communities and communities of color. So I'm hoping you can expand on your testimony and share with us your thoughts on how the proposed wildlife refuge can help us meet multiple policy priorities here. Number one, helping protect biodiversity of the area, which we know has multiple environmental benefits, while also enabling responsible and sustainable development. And third, helping improve not just access to nature and wildlife, but more equitable access to the outdoors.
Yes, thank you, Senator, for the questions and the opportunity to respond. Yeah, those are great questions. It's complicated when you're trying to balance all these different biodiversity versus public access versus where, affordable housing and a lot of the challenges that we face in California and other parts of the country. I agree with you that sustainable development is the goal, and how we plan responsibly is key. Some of the old development models haven't worked very well. They were auto-centric and focused on people sprawling out in the landscape, and so how do we balance all this? I think it starts at the local level. It's not the locals know best on where to define where development can go, and development that is avoiding those biological hotspots, and then identifying those biological hotspots and protecting them, which is what this proposed refuge designation is proposing. The locals and the local scientists and the implementers of the West Riverside HCP have identified this area as important to achieving the objectives of their habitat conservation plan. So the locals have sort of worked with the federal government to identify this area. So I think the way the feds can help is by approving this designation, and also for increasing funding through the ESA Section 6 program to assist HCPs across the country protect the nation's biodiversity hotspots. With access, that's parts of the refuge could be open to the public. Interpretive exhibits and tours can educate visitors on the importance of biodiversity. Refuge staff and local biologists could implement and adopt a school program to get kids involved in nature. Residents and school children can help at the refuge volunteering for habitat restoration and projects and general maintenance. So it's basically trying to empower the community to adopt the refuge and work collaboratively. The refuge doesn't necessarily have to be a place that's off limits to people, and how you can kind of integrate the community with the refuge and the refuge with the community. And that's sort of the intent of of sustainable development anyways. And to echo with some of the things that John Schmidt was saying about working with private landowners, we do that all the time here. You know, we work with ranchers, and they're an important component of implementing, you know, a local approach to conservation, and then on the other side, working with local municipalities to encourage them to develop more sustainably. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Much